In 1989, we were on a European tour with the five-piece version of the Scorchers. We had done Thunder and Fire, had Andy York, who's been with Mellencamp since we broke that up that time, and Ken Fox from the Fleshtones was playing bass with us. Ken later went on to be in the Fleshtones and has been for 30 years. We're in Europe playing, and we get told by a record company they're going to cancel the rest of the tour. We're going to America to play 22 shows opening for Bob Dylan. All right, cool. That's big doings. We're playing with Bob. It's wonderful, but we're not playing Sweet Marie. Fourth show, Mr. Dylan, why aren't you boys playing Sweet Marie? Well, sir, it's your song. We didn't think we should. Oh, your version's better than mine. You should be playing it. It's like, whoa. Oh, okay, we will. I spent the entire tour him wanting to buy my Jazzmaster from me. I got an old Jazzmaster that I jokingly refer to it as the Scorcher show. It was most of Fervor and Lost and Found as that guitar. Didn't have a lot of guitars at the time. I've got a 71 Firebird pickup in it and a telly set up as a telly setup. But Mr. Dylan, I'm not selling that. My parents, this is my first guitar. My parents bought me this guitar. I think he was just messing. Oh, you need to sell me that guitar. I think he's just messing with me the whole time. It's like, Mr. Dylan, I'm not going to sell you the guitar. Yeah. But my sweatshirt story, I'll go on and tell it. The guys in the band, the guys in the crew, they had to load a baby grand on stage and tune it every day. 22 shows. He played it twice at sound check. Never played it during a show. So that was kind of a bone of contention. Jason sat down at the piano bench one night during one of my guitar solos, and we almost got thrown off the tour. He sat down with his back to the piano, but he sat down on the bench. One day, we had been told if the hood's up, you're not allowed to speak to Bob. If the hood's down and he speaks to you, you can speak to Bob. Oh, okay, I probably won't be speaking to Bob. I don't really need to, Wait, he don't need to talk to me anyway. He's Bob Dylan. I'm not, But we come in one day and all the roadies have hoodies on. They got their hoods up. It's just wonderful, and everybody in the hall that has a hoodie on with their hood up and say, okay, we can't talk to anybody, And Bob walks up to the mic and sound check and goes, oh, you motherfuckers wearing hoodies owe me $50 for the hoodies. Touchdown! They're all wearing hoodies, man. You went out to the merch table, so you can't return them. You're going to have to buy them. I love that. The Dylan thing was cool. My memories of it, my problem with the Dylan thing, that's where we found out how sick Perry Baggs was. We didn't know what was going on. Perry was struggling. He was having a hard time. We were playing 40-minute opening sets, and Perry was always like, yeah, And he was struggling to do 40-minute sets, having a lot of energy down, and it was literally like, man, and he lost a bunch of weight all at once, all kinds of weight. And it was literally like, wow, man, what's wrong? Have you got into something you shouldn't be into? What's going on here? And he came to us. We had 4 more Dylan shows to do. We were like in Tampa, Florida or something. He had a hernia. His groin looked like he had half a grapefruit under his skin. Took him to the hospital. They did blood work and immediately come back. Mr. Baggs, you're not taking your insulin. What's the deal? Didn't even know he was diabetic. Barry didn't know. It wasn't like he went to the doctor very often. But he was right on the verge of a diabetic coma. And they kept him. We had to play that night. We played, me, Andy, and Jason did an acoustic thing. We're on benches, playing acoustically at the Dylan thing. And we ended up finishing the tour that way. We sent all the roadies home except for the tour manager. Got most of the gear gone, so we weren't paying for days of stuff we didn't need. Finished the tour that way and started talking. It started being bantered around, maybe we should do an acoustic record. And I was like, time for me to go. I didn't sign up to play acoustic on a bar stool. That is not what I signed up for. I would rather be at work hammering nails than doing that. So that was when I finally left the band the first time, before Jeff Johnson put the band back together. And that was where we found out how ill Perry was at the time. And he had that really bad diabetes. It was rough. You know, he ended up passing away from it 10, 20 years later. I don't know. Perry's been gone now probably 13 years, 14 years, something like that. He died right before my little brother. My little brother died in 2004. Oh, no, Perry's been gone like 20 years. Yeah, long time. My younger brother died in 2004, and Perry passed away right before that. So, not a good year.